On this episode, too many sleeps. Hey everybody, this is The Quarter Show, and we're talking about too many sleeps, and I'll define that further for you here. But I was speaking to one of our sales reps today, and this topic came up like a month ago or something like that, and I forgot to do a show on it. But so it's very simple. You allow too many sleeps on your deal, and it hurts your closing. It hurts your ability to close it. It hurts your ability to get it done. Here's what happens, and I know we're all guilty of this. I know you know this. It's you're talking about doing something, you're thinking about doing something, and the prospect, or you personally, you literally go to bed that night, and you crash, you go to bed, you start thinking about it, and maybe you're mostly sold or partially sold or there, but when you go to bed, often you have dreams, you have whatever, you have considerations, you wake up refreshed, it's a brand new day, and you kind of you almost have to reset, and sometimes different considerations come in the morning time. Oh, do I really want to do that? I'm not really sure, whatever. And most of the times your instincts are right. If you're going to buy something, you're thinking about buying something, you should just go ahead and do it, because most of the time your instincts are right. But sleep, something about going to bed at night and waking up refreshed, and people think I have to sleep on it, like this is such a fantastic thing. But often it's not. And then, you end up doing it anyway 2 months from now, or 3 months from now, or 6 months from now. But when you look at a deal, if you're nearly there, if you're 80% there, 70% there, 90% there, you may as well push it to a done that day, because what's going to happen if you don't is like, oh, okay, great. You know what? Yeah, we're sold, or we're going to sign off in the morning time. And by the way, people say this by the hordes, we're going to sign off tomorrow, or I'm going to sign off tomorrow. We're going to sign off in the morning time. We're going to get started on Monday. And you somewhat let them off the hook and allow too many sleeps. And the thing that's killing your deals is sleeps, right? You need to keep track of how many sleeps, right? There's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sleeps within the deal, or whatever, and you have to sort of try and crunch down, reduce the amount of sleeps. And I know this maybe sounds crazy, but this is the truth. It's like the more sleeps there is in your deal, the more opportunity is for the deal to derail. Right? Reduce the amount of sleeps. And if you're nearly there, you got to push it through today. You do. And it doesn't mean pressure tactics or bullying people in a deal. No, it doesn't. But the sleeps are going to kill your deal. They're just going to eat away at your deal. And the more you have, the less chance you have of getting it done, or the more chance you have of the deal opening up more time into the deal, right? More time into the deal, which you don't want.
Yeah. And the thing is, time is a really, really messed up thing. Time is chaos. Time is allowance for anything to occur. The same thing happens in your prospects' minds. That happens out in this universe here. It happens in here. So like anything can happen. Good things, bad things, whatever. Lots of different things can occur. Things change. You have all sorts of different things that can change. So when you allow time to occur with your prospect's mind, they can unclose, they can think they need to go somewhere else, they can be uncertain. That's when
overthink it.
Thought enters in, and that's what you really don't want to happen. Not because they're making a poor decision, but because they will question a correct decision.
And every day they wake up refreshed, right? We all do this. You wake up refreshed, and that means you, as the person who's selling your prospect, has to come in and resell them. Essentially brand new every day. It's almost like it resets. Every time you go to bed, you wake up in the morning, you're totally reset. And to some degree, you essentially have to, it's not like there's a continuation. You were almost there the day before, but the next day it's completely reset. You essentially have to resell them, sort of like from like beginning almost, not entirely, but from beginning almost, you have to basically resell them. So you're making your life a lot harder than it needs to be. And so if you just focus, if you have a deal that's 70% there, 80% there, 90% there,
finish it there.
Finish it. And if they're telling you, oh, I'm going to make a decision, or I'm going to sign off tomorrow, or let's talk on Monday, you need to have strong enough objection handlings, or strong enough chatter or whatever you want to call it that you've written up a couple ways to handle that. When somebody says that to you, you should have 3, 4, 5 things to say that have written down that you know cold, and that you can work to handle. And if they say that, maybe there's some tinker there that you have to say, well, look, what are the last things that are going through your mind right now? What are the last things that are kind of lingering with you still that kind of stop you from signing off on this thing? Level with me here. What do you think it is? And whatever it is, you want to get those out of the way. Say, good, if we can handle that, or we can handle X, Y, Z, are we good to get this thing signed off today? Because I'd like to get it going right away. I'd like to get it going right now. And if you can accomplish that, you can reduce one sleep out of the sale and make it happen right there. It is important. Sleep delays either kills or delays deals. So just keep that in mind, that like you want to reduce sleeps as much as possible. And I'm sure a lot of people don't think about it. They think, oh, days or runaway to close a deal, but think about it as sleeps.
Yeah, because here's part of what you've done with the prospect is when you enlighten a prospect and really sell them, you bring them emotionally up. They start to become hopeful about something. They come off of a resting point. They're resting at a certain point. They're chill. You bring them up emotionally and they start to see and think and project a future and really get the idea. And when you let that go, they'll sink back to their resting point. And the easiest thing to do is to be at rest and to say no. That's the easiest thing to do. Growing in life is the hardest thing to do. So when you've done the job of bringing them out of their resting point, you have to finish it, because if you let them sleep, if you let them think on it and go on and on, they'll go back to that resting point, and it's far easier for them to say, hey, you know what, I thought it over, and I'm good. We're good where we are. We've already been successful.
Yeah, it's kooky. It's kooky. It sounds kooky, honestly, but it is the truth. You want to reduce the amount of sleeps. And because every day they're going to wake up in that new state, and they're going to, and then you got to resell it and take it all the way through. And look, I get it. There's going to be a certain number of days within every single deal. Obviously, it's 10 days or 5 days or 7 days or 30 days or whatever. There is going to be a certain number of days, obviously. But I'm talking more towards when you're at the end of the sales cycle. Right. So you have your sales cycle. You went through discovery, you went through proposal, you went through selling and handling, or proposal review or selling and handling, whatever it is, however your sales cycle goes. So let's just take it to the end of the cycle. You're towards the end of the cycle. You're more like asking. You're more in the asking stage, right?
Yeah.
This is you've already had the days before. You've had the days up to asking, right? Now you're at asking. You're at the asking stage. You're getting close, and they're at 70% or 80% or 90%. Remove the amount of sleeps and continue to work to remove the amount of sleeps. That's the way to close it. Keep it fresh in their mind, keep it fresh in front of them, get to the right people, and don't let them sleep on it. It's actually for their own good too. Look, if you really believe in your product, you really believe in what you're selling, you really believe it helps them, you really believe they need it, then there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to worry about when they sign off on it. And you have information that they don't have. You know the outcome's going to be fantastic. You know it's the right move for them. You know it's the right play. So you may as well get it committed to and signed off today.
Right.
They don't know that, sure. Maybe they have questions because they're like, oh, I'm not really sure. Maybe they have confidence issues where you have to handle that and make sure that they're confident in your product or service. They're not sure. Maybe you need a third-party endorsement. You need to put some other stats in front of them, some other thing to really earn their business and earn their trust and confidence, because there's a disconnect between what you know and what they know. So go ahead and handle that, but handle it today. Handle it today, handle it right now, get rid of the sleeps, and get it signed off today. That's the thing to do. And I'm talking from asking on. Mm-hmm. Reduce the amount of sleeps from asking on, from asking stage in the process on. Okay? Hope that helps. We'll have more coming at you soon. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're getting more subscribers, which is awesome. And we certainly appreciate you watching. Okay? Thanks.